Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Kemi, and I'm here to discuss Beyond the Gates episodes 47 to 49. Before we begin, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Now let's get into this. So, this week we finish off the reveal of Ted being Eva's father, and him cheating on Nicole. So Monday's episode was a really, really good episode. I did make a video earlier this week praising the acting performances with all the actors on Monday's episode. So we're just gonna go into discuss what happened on Monday's episode. So for Monday's episode, this is where we have all the confrontations. We have Ted and Nicole, and their confrontation was real. I loved Nicole's quiet anger in this episode. It was like you knew she was upset, and but she didn't have to yell. Like her quietness and her calmness and the the way she like went at him without raising her voice too much was just like, oh wow, she's low key crazy. Like she can snap at any moment. So I really liked that part of it. Like her discussing all of the things that, she was going through, like after the fact, like, her thinking about the fact that, she was saying like my body was betraying me and my husband was also betraying me. And and they talked about the STD of it all. Like normally we don't get those discussions on soaps. Like it's, oh, you cheated on me and you had a baby on me. That's it. But it's like for, people when you go through those things, you're cheating on me and it's just like, were you wearing protection? Well, clearly you weren't wearing protection because you had a baby on me. So that means you could have brought anything home to me. How many other people were there? Like all those questions. It was just like I love seeing that in their confrontation. She kicks him out the house and she's just like, if I smell your perfume or find out that you coming back in this house, that is the last thing that you're going to do. She was not playing with that man and he knew that she was not playing with him. We also have Eva's, yes, Kat and Eva's confrontation. Now, baby Kat tore Eva a new one in this episode. It was like, I felt bad for Eva, but at the same time, I didn't feel bad for her because it was just like Kat said, like you don't get brownie points for trying to stop something that you put in place at the last minute. Like if you really wanted to stop this, you could have stopped this a long time ago. Like you're the one who pushed for them to have this anniversary party. So again, that is something that's like they like you planned all of this. So it's just like no matter what you say, well, I tried to stop it. I tried to stop it. Yeah, too little, too late. Like, yeah, you tried to stop it at the last minute, but you did this like this is something that you could have been stopped. Like you could have stopped this once 2 weeks into working for Nicole when you was falling in love with her, knew that she wasn't the person that your mom was making her out to be. You could have told them. You could have let Ted know, hey, I'm Dana's daughter. Like I'm your daughter. Like you could have did all like there was so many opportunities that you had to stop this without it being last minute. And now you're trying now it's like, oh yeah, you tried to stop it. So you want your kudos. Like, no, you don't get your kudos for that. What made me feel bad for her in this, like, throughout this whole thing was when Kat told her, you're dead to me. And it was just like, ooh, that was kind of harsh. Like I like I like all the I like all of them. I like Kat. Like, yes, she's classist. Yes, she's bougie. But I feel like she only does that towards Eva. And it's just like from jump, she knew there was something wrong with Eva. Like, she knew from jump. It was just like something about her was just like, I'm side eyeing you. So that's why she does that to her. And please don't mind my hair. It's doing its own thing today. It's like it is not cooperating with me today. So don't pay attention to this. But anyways, yes, so she's had her good eye on Eva this whole time. So it's just like I feel like she's only like the snobbish, bougie, classist person that we see Kat being has only been towards Eva. Like I haven't seen her act that way towards anybody else. And it's just even. It's because like she knew there was something wrong with Eva from jump. Like from jump, it was like something ain't right with you. Like I'm looking at you, like my good eye is on you. And she knew from jump. And again, it's like nobody would listen to her. And it's just like, y'all should have listened to her. Like she was telling the truth from jump. Like y'all didn't pay her no mind. Y'all wasn't listening to her. And now look where y'all at. Like if y'all would have vetted her a little bit more, maybe y'all would have found something. But here we are at this point. So the next confrontation that we have is with Crazy Leslie and the Duprees. This lady really done showed up at their house at the end of Friday's episode. So we see her on Monday, and she's like she baiting Martin, and it was just like, Martin, you like, I like how he went at her, like he, like you let her know like you tripping, like. And she was just like, oh, is that how you're gonna talk to auntie? No, you ain't no auntie to me. Like, no, you stuck with my daddy, but auntie to me. Like, I ain't gonna call you no auntie. You better step back, like step back. So when he was walking out, she like, after he went off on her, he's just like, ooh, like she like, oh, crazy meets crazy. We see each other. We see each other. That's crazy. She saw that. She saw the crazy in him. So, she stepped back when he was leaving. And then she goes on her spill, like telling the Duprees like why she was there, like, don't take this out on my daughter. Like, she's part of your heritage and please make room for her and all this other extra stuff. And it's like, at the end of the day, Eva is Ted Richardson's child. She is no kin, no blood to the Duprees. They don't have to make room for her at all if they don't want to, because Ted married into this family. There's no blood to the Duprees that Eva has. Her blood is to the Richardsons. You need to go talk to Andre. That's who you need to be talking to make room for Eva. The Duprees don't have to make room for her because again, he's married into the family. That ain't his blood. So all this stuff that it's like, and I've been saying this, is just like what Leslie has been asking for just doesn't make sense, because it's just like you coming at the Duprees like they did something, like they owe you guys something. They don't owe y'all nothing. That is not her family. Ted is her family. They don't owe you nothing. Now, how people do things, like, yes, people who have like, blended families and stuff like that, the blood families that they're not really blood to, they like do take them in, like, like um people that, again, people that have outside kids, sometimes a family will take them in, like they treat you like family. That's a choice that they have. Like that's a choice that they can say, okay, yes, I will take her in. Don't come in here and try to force me to take in somebody that ain't no blood to me. Like at the end of the day, I don't have to take her in. If I want to take her in and treat her like family, I can, but I don't have to, because again, she ain't no blood to me. And Leslie, I know she gets it, but her delusions is, she has, like, I don't know what it is. It's just like, it don't make no sense to me, because it's just like, Leslie, that's not their family. Like, like the Duprees aren't Rick Ted's family like that. Like, yes, they're family by marriage, but if they get a divorce, they ain't no family. Like, she's related to Kat and Martin, but the other Duprees ain't got to take her in. Like, ugh, just so annoying. And she was talking about, oh, I gotta go find my daughter, and I'm a mother, and this and that. And she provides them with a DNA test and a birth certificate, saying, oh, they're 2 weeks apart, like Kat and Eva are 2 weeks apart. And so again, we get that through line that Kat is the oldest, is older than Eva by 2 weeks. So she's the older child, and then it's, Eva's the baby. So we get that through line. So again, we don't know if that is Leslie's daughter, but for me, I don't think that's Leslie's daughter, because of some things that she does at the end of this episode and throughout the rest of the week. Is just like, I don't know if that's really your daughter. I just feel like, because again, like I've said before, we don't know if Nicole really gave birth to those kids. We also don't know, because I was watching really be TV and JB says, and I do apologize, but I was watching their video earlier, and someone in the comments had said something about, do we know if Nicole used embryos to get pregnant with Kat? And so it's just like, well, if she did use those embryos, it could be a thing where um what's her name? Leslie lost the baby that she thought she had, and then she stole the embryo and got implanted, and that's how she had Eva. So it's just like, it's a soap opera, so anything can happen. You never really know. It's like, because I really just don't think that's her child. I really honestly believe that that's Nicole's child. How they're gonna spin it to make it Nicole's child is something to see. But if they don't spin it like that, and it's just like, Ted got two baby mamas, that's another, that's something that they can write stories for a long haul. But we don't know. But again, I still don't believe that that's her child, but we shall see. So the oh Anita don't play. When she went off, when she told Leslie, I've had enough of you. Be still. I was like, "Ooh, that's a good one." And then earlier, not Martin, but Vernon, when Martin was going off, and then Leslie was trying to be all condescending and like, "Ooh," Martin was just like, "Choose." I mean, Vernon was like, "Choose silence," and she was like, "On mute." I was like, "Ooh, those are some good ones." I think I'm going to start using that from now on. Choose silence and be still. This show is so good. So the episode ends with Anita singing Amazing Grace. And I liked it. I didn't see anything wrong with it, because it was just like, people were saying that they sing that at funerals, and it was just like, technically this is the end of a marriage. So this is the death of a marriage. So her singing Amazing Grace fits, but hey, whatever. So yeah, so they do the montage of oh, and I forgot to talk about Martin and Smitty. Martin went home, had him a little temper tantrum, threw everything away. Smitty came in and was just like, we gonna be okay, but before we do anything, you got to clean this up. So they all cleaned up, and so the ending montage, we see Martin and Smitty together, hugging. Then we see Eva going home, and she's like trying to come home, and Leslie done locked her out. She's standing in the kitchen with some wine, like, where you think you going? And Eva's at the door, like, Mama, Mama, like trying to get in. And it's just like, I understand that you mad at your child, but if that was really your child, like, you wouldn't treat her like that. But again, this is Leslie. She crazy. Then we see Kat going home to her mom, and she's hugging her and she's comforting her. And then they do the split screen with Ted at the hotel, sad and just like shaking his head, and that's how the episode ends. So again, this was three episode this week, because it was preempted on Tuesday and Wednesday. And then they had the nerve to, at least where I'm at, they had the nerve to replay the Pope being, them naming who the new Pope was. So I didn't get to see the first 20 minutes on Wednesdays. I was so hot. I was just like, really? I mean, on Thursdays, I was like, really? So we was preempted for 2 days, and then you had the nerve to cut off 20 minutes of Thursday's episode. I was so hot. I was like, what? Like, we got a whole streaming service. Like, we got a whole news channel. Why don't y'all put like news people, go to the streaming services that y'all have. Y'all have 24-hour news. Why y'all got to cut into my daytime stuff? Stop. Like, they be doing that with General Hospital too. I'm like, y'all got a whole, channel dedicated just to news. Put that on there. Quit interrupting my stories. Like, stop. But anyway, so I had to watch that on Paramount Plus. If you don't have Paramount Plus, make sure you get that so that you can watch Beyond the Gates commercial free, if you pay for commercial free. So I had to watch it on Paramount Plus. So we get to Thursday's episode. So Eva done went back to Nicole's place to get her stuff, and it was just like, girl, you bold. So she goes back to Nicole's she goes back to the house to get the stuff that she has, and like when she gets there she's like all sad and she looked rough. Like the makeup department ate, because she had her lipstick all right here on her chin, like when you just when you go to sleep without wiping your makeup off, you wake up and it's just like all over the place. That's what she looked like. And I was like, where did this girl sleep? Like, did she sleep outside the door? Like, because the last we saw was her not being able to get into the house. So it was just like, where did she sleep? Because this girl looked rough. Her hair was all matted and stuff like that. I was just like, oh, this makeup department ate for real. Like this looked real. Like this looked like some real stuff. So she's at Nicole's house coming to get her stuff, and Nicole walks in and she was just like, what do you think you're doing here? And she's remorseful and she's just like, I'm sorry. I know you hate me. And as she says, she goes, I know you hate me. And Nicole was just like, I don't hate you. And Danny was just like, but I do, and you need to get the hell out. I was just like, I know that's right, Danny. You better take it for your sister, because your sister is too nice. Danny said, get out. You bold. She said, it takes a special type of criminal to come back to the scene of the crime. I said, oh, she a criminal? She is a criminal. I was like, oh, girl, you better run. You better run. But she leaves. Danny, comforts her sister. She brings her some chocolates and bubble baths and stuff like that. And then she brought her this stuffed animal. And so, again, she's comforting her sister, telling her, it's gonna be okay. And then she's also like trying to talk her into like forgiving Ted. And Nicole is just like, I'm too numb right now. I don't know what I like. I can't like take advice that I would give my patients, because she's a psychiatrist. She was just like, I'm just too numb. I can't take that advice that you're giving me. I can't take that advice right now. And the advice that I would give to my patients, I can't take that either, because I'm just too numb. And it's just like, it's understandable. All of this just happened like a day ago. So it's just like, I understand, like, Danny, calm down. But then again, it's just like, okay, well, Danny is just like, she's telling her, because Danny was with Bill and Bill used to cheat on her all the time and she always took him back. But I think that she feels like her sister, like Ted cheated on her, that, however many long years ago it was, but he's been like faithful, and he's been like so devoted to her. Like Danny is just like in her head, probably, she doesn't really say it, but like in her head, she's just like, I wish that's what Bill would have done. Like, yeah, he cheated, but I wish um he would have been like a Ted, someone who was like remorseful for what he did and was so devoted to me after the fact. Because again, it's like, we don't know if he's cheated with other people. I don't think he's cheated. I don't think Ted has cheated with anybody else outside of Leslie. And he's been so devoted to her. So that's where Danny's coming from. So, she's trying to talk her sister into getting back with him. And her sister, Nicole, is just like, yeah, it's too soon. And it's understandable. So Danny leaves, and she goes to see Bill. So that was later in the episode. Ted goes to see Bill because Bill's at home with Haley, and they're talking about the whole, cheatation and the scandal and all of this. And Bill comes, and Haley's there being all smug and stuff. And she's just like, you never took up for us when we were going through this, and you went through it yourself. And it's just like, girl, shut up. Haley gets on my nerves. Like, Haley, stop it. Like, at the end of the day, you are the Leslie in this whole situation. Like, you're the Leslie. Ted was the Bill. You got the trifling man. That's what you got. Don't come at nobody else about anything, because you are the Leslie in this whole situation. Just because you ended up marrying him don't mean nothing. You were still the cheater. You were the one who slept with a married man knowing that he was married. And now you want to feel like you're all because you married a cheater. Get out of here. Like, she annoyed the hell out of me these last two episodes. On Thursday and Friday's episode, she annoyed me because it was just like, girl, go sit down with your leopard knickerbockers on. Who still wears knickerbockers? What? Girl, go sit down somewhere looking like a little, like somebody said, what's her name? Miss Bundy from All My Children. That's what she looked like. That's how she was dressed. And it was just like, girl, stop wearing lipper. Go somewhere. But yeah, so Ted goes to see Bill, and he's just basically like, why didn't you tell me I had a daughter? And Bill's just like, wait, what? I didn't know you had a daughter. Like, what? He was just like, nah, you ain't got no daughter. And he was just like, yes, I've met her. It's Eva. And it was just like, oh snap. So she didn't get rid of the child. And he was just like, well, why didn't you tell me that you threatened her? Like, why didn't you tell me what you did? And he was just like, you came to me to fix it, and that's what I did. Like, you don't like you, I'm the fixer. You don't come asking me how I fix it. Just know I fixed it. And it was just like, but Bill, you didn't fix it because a child is still here. So you didn't do your job right at the end of the day, because there is still a child. You should have followed up. Like, y'all both should have been following up. Like, y'all should have been seeing, like, you, Bill, as a lawyer and a fixer, you should have been giving check-ins like yearly, quarterly, something, just to make sure that this lady did what she said she was gonna do. But y'all didn't do it. So y'all ain't fixed nothing. Y'all like Nicole said, you just put a cap on a bottle that needed to be, that was gonna burst anyway. That's all y'all did. Y'all didn't do nothing that you was supposed to do. So after that, Ted leaves because Haley is just like, well, I don't think I can break bread with you. Girl, shut up. You're you're in the company of cheaters, you yourself included. Go sit down somewhere. So Ted leaves and he goes back home. He goes back to the hotel or whatever. Danny shows up, and Danny comes in, just walks in, was just like, the door was unlocked. Bill, we need to talk. Haley, grown folks need to talk. You need to go. And that lady really walked out. I was just like, girl, how you let this lady dictate what you gonna do in your house? Oh, I thought you was big and bad. You had all that mouth to talk to Ted, but when Danny shows up, you just and you listen to what she says. Cause anyways. Haley gets on my nerves. I don't like her. I really don't like her. So Danny's about to go off on Bill. So we get to after Eva has left Nicole, she goes home. Before she gets home, Leslie, she hears a knock on her door. She goes to the door. It's Ted. He comes in and he's just like, thank you. And then they start kissing and all this other stuff. And then she's just like, oh, you're ready to be with me, X, Y, and Z. And he was just like, hell no. Why would I want to be with you after what you did? And then she wakes up because it's a delusion. It's one of her daydreams. And I was just like, even her daydreams is telling her what everybody been saying. Like, did you really think that you would get Ted back after what you did? One, you blew up his marriage 20 years late. You embarrassed him in front of his colleagues, his friends, his family, and then you kept his child from him for over 20 years. Like, all this stuff that you did you really think that he would come back to you, that he would want to be with you? Like, it just never made sense to me. Like, I was just like, what does Leslie think she's going to get out of this? Like, it's like, you did all of that, and it's like, what did you think you was going to get out of this? No, like, you're not going to get anything out of this. That man don't want you. He didn't want you back then. He don't want you now, and he definitely not going to want you because of what you did. Like, no. So Eva comes home and they get into it. And when I tell you, them two, Amber, Michelle, and Trisha Mann Grant, ooh, and me's they need to get. When Trisha, I mean, when Leslie was yelling at her, like, you chose them over me, why would you do it? And then Eva gives it back to her, like, because you lied to me, it's all your fault. I was just like, ooh, I was just like, get her. Yeah, I felt bad for Eva at that moment, because I was just like, man, this late, like, you grew up your whole life hearing that your daddy didn't want you, all to find out that he never knew about you because your mama told him that she got rid of you. And it's like, you lied to me for however old she is, 20 plus years. Like, you've lied to me my whole life. And you had me thinking the worst of this man, and it was not his fault. Like, he didn't know about you. And it's like, girl, you, Leslie. So she kicks her out. She packs her bags and kicks her daughter out the house. And then after she kicks her out, she looks at the picture that Kat had seen a couple weeks ago, of them together, and she throws that picture away. And I was just like, now, if this is really your child, no matter how mad you are at your child, I would not be throwing away their stuff. I would not kick my child out of that house, no matter how mad I am. Like, no, like, I just don't believe that's her daughter. But anyway, so she kicks her out the house, throws away the picture of them together, and Eva has nowhere to go, so she goes to Ted at the hotel, and she's just like, I have nowhere to go. And Ted was just like, come on in, like, and he was just like, what did you want out of this? And she was just like, she was just like, I was just doing what my mom said. And he was just like, no, what did you want? And she was just like, I wanted to meet my dad. Like, I really wanted to meet my dad. Like, I thought you didn't want me. And like, I went my whole life without my bio dad, because she had a dad, just not, she had Alan. But she didn't have Ted. So she was just like, I just wanted to meet my dad. I wanted to get to know my dad. And like, she apologizes, and he was just like, I'm not saying that I forgive you, but like, I'm not gonna leave you stranded. He was just like, I'm gonna get you a room tonight, and then I can rent you an apartment, if you still want to stay. And she was just like, yeah, I really want to stay. And he was just like, don't take this as me saying I'm forgiving you, but I'm just not gonna, like, because I'm not just gonna leave my daughter out to fend for herself. Like, no. So she's happy about that. Um, what else happened in this episode? Oh yeah, so Nicole goes to see her parents, and they comfort her. We also see in the episode Chelsea comes over to Anita and Vernon's, and she's talking about her dad, and she's like, would he really do something like that? And they're taking up for him because, again, he knows their secret, and he helped Martin out or whatever. So they, like, give her some reassurances about her dad, and she's just like, okay. And then Nicole comes over, and Nicole gets comfort from them. She first gets comfort from Anita, and then that's how that's how the episode ends. And then we go into Friday's episode. So Friday's episode, again, Nicole is still at her parents' house. She's getting her comfort from her mom, and then her mom leaves to let her spend time with her dad. So, Vernon is giving her comfort, just like telling her, it's okay, it's not your fault, things is gonna get better, just giving the comfort that, she needs. Danny is at Bill's house, and she's going off on him, and he going off on her. They going tit for tat, tit for tat, tit for tat. And it's just like, man, they got some chemistry, but the way that he be talking to her, like, I I'm so glad hopefully this episode made her see that Bill ain't ish, and he ain't ever gonna be ish, and she need to move on, hopefully, to Andre. Because he was just so disrespectful. What did he say to her? He was just like, I thought you knew that I didn't want you when I left you. And I was just like, ooh, that was so harsh. Like, uh, and then it's like, he said some truthful things though, because he was just like, y'all, the Duprees, y'all call me because it, like, he was just like, it was embedded in me when I first came into the marriage that my position, like, my role was to be the fixer, so that y'all wouldn't get y'all's hands dirty. And it was just like, I mean, it's the truth. That's how they did it. That's what they wanted you for. But at the same time, you use that to your advantage, because you wouldn't be where you are, like Danny said, you wouldn't be who you are and where you are today if it wasn't for them. Like, y'all both used each other. Like, you use them to get where you are, and they use you to be the ruthless person that you are. So it's the same. So you doing all this, like, making it seem like, oh my God, I can't stand the Duprees, and I can't da 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 da. And it's just like, but you moved into the Gates with your new wife. You want to be in the upper echelon with them. You're forcing the Duprees to do things that they don't want to do, but you keep saying you're done with them. And it's just like, no, you're not done with them. And so, Danny leaves and she's just like, I'm so done. Like, basically, I'm done with you and you need to leave my family alone and stay away from us. And, Haley comes in with her smugness. And yeah, so now that that's over with, we're done with the family. And Bill is just like, yeah, we're done. Like, no more Duprees for us and X, Y, and Z. And all for him to call Smith to summon Smitty to the house. So just like, you're stupid, Haley. Like, if you really believed that he doesn't want anything to do with the Duprees, you're stupid. And we all know you're stupid. So I digress. So we see Smitty and Martin together. They're at the bar, that bar. I don't know what that bar is. So he had just got off the phone with Naomi, because Naomi was like trying to find like place. She was trying to find a shelter for that her client June. And I will say this: if June has no relationship to, or no relation to Haley, she ain't Haley's sister, mom, nothing like that, or if she ain't the mom of Sam and Terrell, I don't care about this storyline. So unless we find out late, like hopefully she has some relation to one of them three people, then I'm gonna care about it. But until then, I don't care about it. So we gonna move along. She talks to Martin to help her get a room for June. So that's when we see Martin with Smitty, and Martin is telling Smitty how his office has been working with hotels and stuff to help unhoused people. So he was able to talk to somebody to get June a place to stay at a hotel. And Martin was just like, okay, that's good, as long as it's not, never mind. And Martin's like, never, as long as it's not what. And so Smitty tells him, basically tells him that as long as it's not the hotel that your dad is staying at. And he got the hotel um on Vernon's request, and Vernon requested that he don't say nothing to Martin, because Martin is hot-headed, basically. And so again, Martin, you prove their point why they didn't want to tell you, because you had a temper tantrum with Smitty about not telling you, and you told him don't go behind my back and don't keep secrets from me, and basically trying to make it seem like he's not part of the family. And it's just like, you have no room to talk, because you currently have a secret that you're hiding from your husband. So you have no leg to stand on when it comes to secrets being held or secrets being told, because you have a major secret that you have not told your husband about. So he goes off on Smitty, and again has that temper tantrum, leaves, and he goes to see his father. So basically the reason why they didn't want you to know, you go and do it anyway. So Kat overhears all of this, and she goes to Smitty, and she's just basically telling him, like, your family don't listen to him, and if y'all ever were to get a divorce, we'd pick you and not him. And it's just like, I'd pick Smitty too. I would pick Smitty too. I'm not picking him. He too volatile. Martin, he back on my list of people I don't like. He was doing okay last week. He wasn't as bad the last week, and I feel like the week before that he wasn't as bad, but he done turned it off. He was okay on Monday going off on Leslie, but he done turned it all around with one episode. Martin is a whole nother something. So we see yeah, so Kat, she sees Smitty. She tells Smitty, don't worry about it, we still love you, don't worry about him, whatever. She gets up because she has to take a call, and she sees Tomas, and like, because they were supposed to meet. And Tomas, she was just like, okay, I'm coming right back, I have to take this call, get a table. So he gets a table, and Eva walks in. So he goes to Eva and he like talks to her about everything. She's feeling bad because he's like, basically, he had said to her, like, I didn't see you as a person who would do something like this. And she's just like feeling like, why would you say that to me? And why would you, and all this other stuff. And then, like, he like calms her down and he like talks to her. And then she like, she opens up to him and he like holds her hand to give her comfort. And Kat walks in. Mind you, I forgot all about this. On Thursday's episode, Tomas and Kat met. Kat told Tomas what happened, and she tells him, don't talk to Eva no more. So we get to Friday's episode, and he's over there holding her hand, and Kat sees it, and she like, she gets upset and she leaves. And it's like, Kat, like, bump Tomas, like, that man has never chose you when it comes to Eva. He's always on Eva's side. When, like they say, when someone shows you who they are, believe them. That man has shown you that time and time again. He will give Eva the benefit of the doubt. He will take her side and he will make you feel bad for feeling the way that you feel about her. And he will low key try to keep, like, not keep secrets, but he would rather not, what's the word, he would rather not, like the episode when Eva had told him like her story, and he like said something to Kat and he was just like, oh, I shouldn't say it because she told me in confidence. He would rather keep her confidence than, say anything. And it's just like, this man has continuously shown you, Kat, that he prefers Eva over you. So let him have her. Leave that man where he's at. He has better chemistry with Eva anyway. We need Kat to find somebody else who's going to pick her first. Like, and Tomas is not that one. So I really hope she has seen the light and seen the error of her ways and is now going to tell Tomas to kick rocks and you can go be with Eva if that is who you want to be with. I truly and sincerely hope that is where we are going because I am tired of Tomas and Kat. They are not it, but we shall see. So we see Andre and Ted. Andre goes to go see his uncle, and he brings him a bottle, like, try to, ease his spirits. They talk, and Andre is just like, what can I do to help? And he was just like, if you could get my wife to forgive me, that'd be great. I don't think he really meant it literally, but Andre took it literally and took his tail over to Nicole and blabs that he knew about it. And it was just like, why would you do that? She is gonna tell her sister, and her sister is gonna get mad at you, and now we're gonna have an issue. And it's just like, why, Andre? You should have kept your mouth shut. You should have just went over there and been like, I hope you and my uncle work out. Like, I want my auntie and uncle back together. You ain't had to tell her that you knew about his tryst that he had way back when. But Nicole doesn't, she doesn't hold it against him. She basically said Ted should have never put you in that position, which he really shouldn't have. When his conscience was getting the best of him, he really should have told his wife then. But it's a soap opera, so we ain't get no story when they do that. So we understand. But so Vanessa comes to, give her, comfort her best friend. And Nicole was just like, man, I should have listened to you. I mean, I should have did what you did and not been tied down to one person. And, she's just like, it's different. Vanessa's just like, it's different. Y'all like had a love and all this other stuff. So Nicole is just like, thank you for coming to see me, but I really want to be by myself. I just need some time to, by myself. And she was just like, okay, if you need me, I'm here, let me know, call me. So as she's going to leave, she tells her, Nicole tells her, leave the door open, unlocked, because I have a delivery that's coming. So we see Ted. Martin again comes over, and he comes in to, I don't know what he comes for, but he comes and he's just like, talking down on his daddy or whatever. And it's just like, Martin, go sit down somewhere. Go sit down somewhere. Like, you have a secret as well that you are keeping from your daddy. No one, like, I understand, Martin, you're mad that this man has cheated on your mama, but at the end of the day, you are just like, you're not a cheater, but you are also keeping secrets from your daddy, from everybody. The only person who knows about, only people who know about your secret are your grandparents. Nobody else knows about your secret. So for you to have this righteousness about you, righteous indignation about yourself, like you were just this, but you are also, you're flawed yourself. Like, go sit down somewhere. Again, he is on my list. Him and Haley, they are on my list. I can't believe that I'm okay. Bill didn't get on my nerves this week. Like, he was chill. Even the confrontation that him and Danny had, although I didn't like that one line that he said, he was telling the truth in certain points when they were talking. So that's why Bill is not on my list this week. But Haley and Martin, y'all are on my list. So again, Bill told Haley that he was done with the Duprees, and then he went and called Smitty and basically told Smitty, get your husband to be on board with me. And it's just like, did you just tell your wife that you was done with the Duprees? You not done with them. You will never be done with them. You want to be a part of that family still. Because if you didn't, you would be like with all of them. But you don't want that. You over there telling Martin to get with the program and get back in good graces with you so that you don't tell his secret. And it's just like, I guess Bill, maybe he is on my list. Maybe he is on my list. I don't know yet. Just yet. He's almost there. So we get to the end of the episode. Again, Nicole told Vanessa to leave her door open because she has a delivery coming. And so we hear the knock on the door, and Nicole was just like, just leave the delivery at the door. I'll come and get it. And then her door opens, and in walks Leslie. I was just like, this lady really has a lot of audacity. And Nicole was just like, how did you get in here? And she was just like, oh, I got the codes from Eva. And it was just like, you ain't get them codes from Eva. You stole the codes from Eva. You didn't get them from her. You stole them from her. And now you're trying to make her as look like the bad person. And it's just like, that's another thing why it's just like, I don't think that's her mama. Like, why would you do that to your daughter? So that's how the episodes end. So we're going into, see the preview for the, next week, and we see Leslie telling Nicole there's something that you need to know. And then we also see Leslie confronting confronting Eva about her and Ted having like building a relationship, because again, she's jealous because it was just like, you kicked her out the house and told her to go to her daddy, like, and she did what you told her to do. So why are you mad that her daddy is actually being like taken up for her, even though you thought that he wouldn't? Like, why are you mad? So she mad. And then we also see her with Kat, and Kat's asking her like, um so you're saying that Eva ran Laura off the road? And I was just like, oh, she is about to lie to these people and make it seem like Eva did it. That is not her mama. That cannot be her mama. So I can't wait to see what's going to happen next week. Like, if she's really going to make it seem like Eva did that or not. But that cannot be her mama. Mm-mm-mm. Well, that was this week's episodes of Beyond the Gates. If you like what you saw, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and press that bell notification so that you can get more content from me. So I'll see you guys in the next one.